friends, we're back today. This is probably a demo about number 6 here. This is a violin that's been regraduated by a master maker, Gosparlin. So it's probably some sort of a student violin. It's older, I'm guessing, 1900s-ish. Complete with a fake or a faux painted on stripes on the back, which is kind of interesting and funny. So anyway, it's an old fiddle, and we want to hear how it sounds. So here's Catherine.
Kids, play your scales. Practice them daily. So this instrument, earlier whenever I was first playing it, it was really, really bright, really kind of aggressive. It had different strings on it. And so with, the expert adjustments of John, and of course changing the strings because the strings had to go, the sound is a lot more mellow. It warmed up and it has a more healthy projection. And it's not, deafening. So never forget that an instrument can always have adjustments, and you can kind of tweak things around. So now it's kind of sitting at this great place where it has, a really stable tone. The balance is nice. It's projective and pretty bright, but still it leans more towards the warmer side now. Anything after that. It's been a long time since I've played that. Actually, it's been about 12 years since I've played that. So, overall, I love how active the strings are, and how active the top plate is. Because as I was playing those chords, there was very ringy. There was a lot of activity that was being sent into the cloud, but not iCloud, the cloud of notes that are surrounding and that are in the air. And so there was a lot of resonance happening, a lot of overtones, and just, the wood was just, continuing on and on and on, which was really, really lovely. I'll play something else too, but overall, the treble clef, I keep calling it the treble clef range. The upper range of the instrument has a really nice and healthy sound. And like I said, it's not as aggressively loud anymore, which is lovely. So let's hear a little bit of the low end. Low end. I think if you experiment with the strings, you could probably get even more richness out of it. I think the G string is an il canone, which is pretty warm. And so and currently on this instrument, we have il canone's dominance and then the anti-whistling Kaplan string. And so this combination actually sounds really good. I'm quite surprised because I'm politically against dominance. Well, not politically, but just everything against dominance. But shockingly, this is a really, really nice combination. And if you wanted a more richer G string, you could probably sub it out for a different string if you wanted to. But so far, it already has a nice, resonant, healthy low end as well that can, of course, be amplified if you're wanting something more, because I feel that there's more that can be given by this instrument. You could probably just change the G string to something, to a different string. But so far already it has a nice richness to it. Wow, nice. It also has really great dynamics. There's a really nice range, not just in the high end, but also in the lower end. I can really, really get soft, which is really important for a violin. Lovely double stops too. It's very easy to play double stops on this one as well, and overall it just has it's easy to play and it has an easy sound, which is kind of a strange way of describing it, but it just really flows. It has a very lovely flow to it. So I would say if you're a student that's looking to upgrade, I think this would really suit that. I think that would really suit a student who is looking to upgrade, because this instrument, it's responsive, but you kind of have to work for it a little bit. And I think with an instrument, as you're learning the instrument, you have to put in a little bit of work in order to learn how to play the instrument. Not that you should overwork or let the instrument do it for you. I think there's a time where you upgrade to even more advanced materials, where you've learned the techniques and you allow the equipment and the instrument to work for you, if that makes sense. And so I remember when I was, learning violin, my instrument was, I had a pretty decent instrument at the time, but I kind of had to work for the sound. I was like, okay, I have to get these sounds out. I had to work really hard for it. Maybe too hard, but I did have to work for it, so that whenever I upgraded, even more from there, when I decided I wanted to be a professional, I was like, oh, this is so easy. Oh my gosh. But that time that I had with that instrument where I did have to put in that work was very educational for myself and really helped me in my 5-year period with that instrument, I think. I can't quite remember how long, but I was a bit younger. But this instrument's very rewarding. You put in the effort, you put in the work, and it really rewards you for your sound. And that's what I really appreciate about this instrument, and I think would be great for a student. Now, however, I was fiddling a little bit earlier, and I think this would also be a really good instrument for a fiddler if you're fiddling. tune. Sorry, I got lost in the sauce. But really nice. It also has like a great fiddle sound, and really it just has that kind of warmth and that roughness that I personally love to hear with fiddles. So this is definitely a two-part instrument. If you're wanting like a really, really, great student grade instrument that will, it'll go with you for a long time and you'll grow with it, you'll learn with it. I think that's awesome. But also, if you're a fiddler and you like something a little bit nitty gritty and something with a great warm sound, this is your instrument.
Yeah, for sure. Fiddle, like this is one of the few violins I could actually feel in my back teeth. Like it has a big sound. Again, top plate and bottom plate both going at the same time. Like that was really phenomenal. So for sure, a fiddle. Now, just quick question. I should ask you off camera, Catherine. But you say student. Is this more like beginner intermediate type student, or like who would this be for?
Oh, like an intermediate. If they're like in the intermediate or they're going to advanced.
Okay.
Yeah.
So definitely. This is a Swiss Army knife to where you can play your classical violin. The bridge is set up classically, but also fiddle. I mean, he put on some not dominance. Put on some Eva Perazzi gold, and just lower that string height to just 1 millimeter. I think you might be onto a killer fiddle here too. So.
I think so too.
Any hoodles. That was amazing. Yeah, I got my head bobbing back here, and I saw your foot tapping. So it's a good musical instrument when it actually evokes feeling and some happiness. That's what music is for. Love to hear your thoughts. Thanks, friends. Play on.